It was up as Rashad and a injured Antonio. OG, of
Yeah.
course, man. We are back with our season 2 Star Wars Rebels rewatch. Doing all of 4 seasons in this before the Ahsoka series drops August the 23rd. You get 2 episodes that Wednesday, so expect us to be doing that, dropping it 7 p.m. In response to that, I said, hey, let's go back and watch Rebels because we already know this is going to be season 5 of Rebels. Right off the bat, we get Ahsoka and we get Vader, man. Talking to my little brother today. Shout out Craig, was good.
What's up, little
And
Craig?
he was like, yo, I never watched Rebels. I said, hey, you need to go back and watch Rebels, yo. I said,
Yeah.
it's really good. Like low key, after coming off, because remember at the time, Disney transition, all that good stuff. This was their first real animated thing they did. And it was like, it took a hard left because animation style is different. Characters are kind of different. The era in which it was in is also different.
Right.
So a lot of people was expecting this like super gritty, I don't know, worn torn thing, and like that's not what we got.
The best way for me to describe season 2 is callbacks to everything you saw in the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and of course, Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I just want to say that.
No, that's the very accurate description of that, because in this one, like the first, let's say 4 episodes are essentially like 2-parters. Vader and Ahsoka in the first 2 episodes. You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny, like watching Vader literally play with his food like he's a cat, because there's a scene where they're fighting. Well, Vader's not, I can't say fighting. He's playing around with Ezra and Kanan.
When he got in his TIE Intrepid, his version of the TIE Fighter. It's about a TIE Fighter. And he took basically out the entire Rebel fleet by himself.
Yo, that was like, who is this flying this TIE?
Yeah. I was like, yo, who is this guy? And of course, Vader is Anakin Skywalker, but that's a duality thing right there.
Yeah, it's almost like a dissociative identity disorder,
right? Because Vader is another identity of Anakin Skywalker. That's why when Vader talks, he's always like, Anakin Skywalker was weak.
Anakin Skywalker is dead. I killed him.
Yeah. I killed Anakin Skywalker. But the rebels are like, oh, they sending a TIE fighter. Hey, I only sending one. Hey, man, bump that. Take that dude out. He proceeded to wash the rebel. They're like, yo, who is this dude? What is going on? And like Ezra and Kanan are like, yo, what is going on here? And in the meantime, Ahsoka she's manning the cannon, one of the cannons on the Ghost. And she's like, yo,
who is this?
Who is this? And she's looking, and she's starting to like kind of recognize some of the maneuvers and everything. Because that's one thing in fighting, and not just Star Wars, but other shows and stuff. People always can be like, yo, I know who this person is because this is his fighting style. That was Anakin's flying style. And she was like, wait a minute, what is going on? And so she started to use the Force a little bit to try to get an idea of who it is. And like, it's like her and Vader kind of like had a male, because Vader was like, the apprentice. Like, Vader.
That was what I was going to say. Like, they both knew.
Right. And you saw she had like a Force attack. She was like, ah, and she just passed out. Yo, she had a
Force attack.
She had a Force attack, man. I don't know, man. She was sitting there, and then she just like, ah, just passed out, and then Vader realized it was her. And like, even though Vader is Vader, Anakin Skywalker is still in there, regardless. And we've seen that. And Anakin, like, basically was like, yeah, I'm not going. He's like, no, I'm going to try to bring her on to my side. He left them be. And he told the rest of the, you know what I'm saying, the Imperial fleet, let him. They're like, you just going to let him go? He was like, yeah. Y'all got a problem with that? It was like, no, Lord Vader, it's all you, baby. And she was just like, yo. It's like Ahsoka was like, yo, that won't who I thought it was. But she was like, I'm not sure. You know, so she wasn't sure or whatever.
Nah, she knew. She didn't want to believe, yo.
She didn't want to believe it, yo. And that was her whole thing this entire season is, yo, that's not my master, yo. My master wasn't like that. Yeah, your master was for real. So yeah, so but the thing, you just realize how powerful. That's one thing that we really haven't seen in any of the Star Wars publications with Vader in it, except maybe Rogue One. The little 2-minute hallway scene.
Yeah, you got him mopping them up, and then of course, like in like the comics and stuff. But like,
we've never seen full power like Vader going 100% rogue, and that's something I would like to see, but I don't think we're gonna ever get that or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I want to see that. Like, we be Vader heavy, and they don't use them sparingly. They were like, oh man, we gotta invigorate some excitement. Spring some Vader on it. You know what I'm saying? And yes, but still, they did a real good job of how they put them into the storyline and have them fight. And of course, our only two Jedi with Ezra and Kanan. So another flash from the past, and like the next two episodes dealing with the daggone, we got some clone troopers. So we get our boy Captain Rex back. We also get Wolf, and we also get Gregor. Of course, those are the Clone Wars dudes. And it was cool seeing them. Wolf was out this joint acting like he had PTSD.
And acting. No, he did. Acting. My man said, yo, he says, what are we doing here? He said, hey, we cool with the Empire for hey, they gave us our walking papers. We doing our thing. They leave us alone. Hey, man, tell these folks get out of here, or else we can tell the Empire, hey, come get these people. We with y'all. That's how shook he was of the Empire.
Not even that, but the fact that Wolf was always calling them, reporting stuff. Like they really made him the crazy old man on the show, yo. Like,
yeah.
Like for real.
The person you thought was the crazy one, which was Gregor, actually had more sense than Wolf.
Nah. Only thing, Gregor just wanted to have fun.
Right.
And Wolf was like, I'm about to drop a dime on that.
He's like, I don't like that one bit. I don't like that shit. I don't like that one bit. It was like, hey, my man Grand Moff, yo, we got some Jedis here. Come get these. That's what he was like.
For real, yo. He was not with it at all, man. So of course, that was what brought the tension. It was a real interesting scene with them using the basically the sandstorm to act as a cloak. And even this is okay. For the next 8 episodes, I love the way that Kanan hates Rex. It is so funny. He was like, all right, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Get out of here, old man. Yeah. Look at you stupid clone. Like, we gotta trust these dudes. Like, yo.
Yeah.
He was not.
And everything you stand for, y'all killed my master. I know what y'all capable of. Even after Rex was like, hey, man, you got to understand the situation. What happened? They put these chips in us. It's like, I don't care. Y'all still did this. Y'all still did what y'all was programmed to do. So yeah, he was not having it.
That relationship had me weak, man. Like I was talking to Maddie, and I was like, I don't remember Kanan being this spicy. Yo, he just was.
Kanan, man.
He was mad a lot of the time, you know.
Yeah, but you know what though? When Disney came out with the Bad Batch, and you saw the first episode of the Bad Batch of young Caleb Dune, aka Kanan Jarrus, you see why he's like, yo, F these troops, because he was right there when Order 66 went into play.
Yo, they straight murdered of a Balawa, yo, yeah. And like and who let him get away?
The clone troopers.
The
batch 99, because they were like, yo, what are you doing? They was like, hey man, we here to help you. He was like, yo, F y'all. And he just got away from them, man. So yeah, so it was good to see the clone troopers back and everything, and them doing their clone troopery stuff, and how they were just so excited to really Gregor, just to like kind of get back into the fold of things. So yeah.
probably one of my favorite episodes of this season.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, it was a kind of a calm episode. And that was just episode 7, Wings on a Master with Hera.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of getting washed, they was getting washed by the Empire, yo. I mean, like blockades, they couldn't get through planets. The Empire just sneaking up on them. Like the early beginnings of the rebellion, they sucked. Commander Sato sucked too. Like he's not a good commander at all. You know?
So let me tell you my problems, man, with the not just the rebels. Let me tell you my problem with a lot of stuff on this show, and I don't mean this as in a problem with the show, but like characters and stuff like that. Sato was horrible. You know who else are horrible? Why is it that kids in the Jedi universe suck, yo? They suck. Listen, I know Ezra's all daggone. He sucks. I hate it. Like rewatching this, like, yo, Ezra was annoying as hell. Like, Mr. I know everything, blah, blah, blah. They're not doing this. They were stereotypical teenagers. Him and then Sabine was the same way. Like, it's like young, dumb, and don't want to be able to think they know better than everybody.
They typified post-pubescent children to a T.
Yes.
And think about like this too. You have Sabine, who we don't even find out what her deal is until the 3rd season. Mm-hmm. And then you have Ezra. They're about the same age, dealing with the same type things. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad like Sabine kind of caught on. Like, but Ezra was like super hard-headed, yo. Like a lot. I mean, and then we're gonna get into like how his hard-headedness gets him in trouble towards the end of the season. But yeah, yo, that Wings of the Master episode when they go to get the B-wing from that oh my god, yo, the water people.
Calamari.
I don't know why I was gonna say Aqualish. I said that is not him. So yeah, from the Calamari dude, like, and she is just basically showing everybody just how amazing of a pilot in person like she is. And she was reluctant as well too. It was good to see her character development, even with the episode with the Purgil. You know what I'm saying? Right. She was like, hey, let's shoot these hoes down. And Esther was like, nah, yo, like, let me try to commune with them.
He says, no, I've seen what they do. They cause problems, hyperspace lane crashes.
He said they be killing ships out here, yo. A couple of my friends died because of Purgils.
Yeah, just like, yo, F these.
Yo, I was like, oh, it's not Hera?
Yeah.
Can't give a damn about no space whales.
F these whales, yo, for real. Whatever.
So funny, man. I said, yo, it was just good to see like everybody. You just see like where their proclivities lie and how they have to turn around. Of course, by the end of the episode, realizes that they're just misunderstood too, and they also are available to hyperspace travel. You know what I'm saying? Which was an amazing thing. That of course comes around later on.
Yeah.
So they dropped. Before I forget, they dropped a lot. There's a lot of seeds that were dropped in season 2 for season 4. I mean, a lot. Yeah.
So also during this season 2, we're introduced to a new Inquisitor, not the Grand Inquisitor, but I forget which I think it's the 5th brother.
And the 7th sister, right?
Right, and the 7th sister. You get introduced to these two new you know what I'm saying, Inquisitors. And for the longest, everyone thought the 7th sister was Barriss Offee from Clone Wars fame or whatever. I think we might actually see Barriss in Ahsoka. I mean, she has to pop up in Ahsoka because it was never. We've never seen nothing from her ever since she got arrested and taken it after the bombing thing that they tried to blame on Ahsoka.
And then I feel like she got name drops in Obi-Wan somewhere.
Something like
writing
that.
on the wall or something. She could have been in that that little safe safe passageway, the Underground Railroad for Jedi
Right.
in that series over there. I forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So you got basically these two new Inquisitor. It was bad enough you had one Inquisitor, even though it was a Grand Inquisitor. And then you got these two other Inquisitors who are just like even more bloodthirsty than the Grand, Inquisitor to try to, to try to hunt these guys down. And one of the episodes that really kind of stuck out with me with them was the episode 10, which is Future of the Force.
Oh yeah.
And that was where that was kind of a continuation of a Clone Wars storyline where the Emperor was trying to was collecting force sensitive children before the Jedi could get to him and have them. But he's still on his crusade of getting force sensitive children. The crew basically figure out what's going on with that, and it became kind of like a cat and mouse game of them trying to get these two force sensitive kids on this planet that the Inquisitors were trying to scoop up. So, and then they realized, and then that's when Ahsoka realized. She was like, she says, I remember the Emperor was trying to do this back back during Clone Wars. She said, but then you had like Jedi who could stop it, and they was like, yeah, well, I guess it's up to us now, type thing. So
that was a good episode too. How they just kind of again calling back to an old plot thread, kind of let them know that hey, the Emperor's still trash. So another great episode. Princess of Lothal was cool to show, like you get a cameo from Princess Leia, and she was basically she basically fooled them into getting the rebellion to steal her ships, saying, hey, y'all stole these ships, y'all got my ship stolen, and then getting the sergeant who's there, I don't know whatever his rank was, telling him, hey, I need to take your ship. So essentially, and get money for the ships they lost. So she was able to it was like the ultimate like comeuppance, because like she really got them that day. Like that was like a major haul.
That was like on some Ocean's 11 type, type deal right there. How they Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, movies type deal. How she was able to, they donated 3 carriers to, say that, oh, we're coming to Lothal to give relief. We're here from the by the Senate, but it was really for the rebels. But also at the same time make it seem like, oh my God, the rebels, blah blah blah. You let the rebels take my stuff, and we took one of y'all other ships, and on top of that, we taking one of y'all other ships. Y'all gonna pay us back for those ships. So the money just is circling around right back to the daggone rebellion to help them out or whatever. Because you got to realize her father is basically the fund, the middleman for the rebellion and funding all this. I thought that was a really good episode. You got to see a young Princess Leia, kind of, come up with some ideas and how she was trying to prove her that her plan would have worked, but the locks on the spaceships on the ships kind of ruined that. But they was able to find a way to get out where she didn't look like she was a rebel sympathizer.
Shooting from the hip. So yeah. Next couple episodes are like, I mean, it's like it's bangers after bangers in season 2. So Legends of Lasat, that between, okay, so I'm gonna say 2 episodes in one. So we got Legends of Lasat, and then there's Honorable Ones. These are both Zeb focused episodes, and these 2 episodes show us a lot of who Zeb is. Of course, him being the like the reluctant hero and the forgotten soldier. I mean, his past life was so past to him, he needs tell them that he was a general. You know what I'm saying? He's like, oh, this is old basically soothsayer here, and this man that used to be under my command, and they're saying like, look, y'all
don't know who this is.
Nah, this is
y'all don't know.
Y'all know what y'all got, huh? So watching him having to interact and kind of own into his into his past. And also I forgot what they called it, but essentially different variations of the Force across different cultures and groups.
At the light side was Ashla. and the dark side was Bogan.
Yeah, the Bogan, you know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
Ash and the Bogan, which is just the yin and the yang.
Mm-hmm.
Another way to say that. Which was going to be what they called the Force in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it was cool to see how they basically everybody's tapping into the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up going to this planet. Well, this first was an entryway.
Mm-hmm.
Which looks amazing. It looked like just a wall, and it looked like just a bunch of like cyclones or hurricane, like all just on this like this area that they had to go through, and they end up finding their home for the Lasat people, and people's already on the planet too.
And kind of find out that planet is the actual planet that the Lasats come from. And the planet that got destroyed by the Empire was kind of like a colony, but they didn't know. But they didn't know that. And also with how they did that, for anyone that's played Force Awakens, not Force Awakens, Jedi Survivor 2, the second version of the game, kind of like a similar story with dealing with that as far as finding a lost planet that. So it's very similar in that way as well.
You are right. It's like poetry and rhymes. You know what I'm saying? So going down to the honorable ones, we have this very wacky way that both Zeb and Agent Kallus get stuck on an ice moon of what's the name of the planet we're trying to go to? Geonosis. They're trying to go to Geonosis to check on what happens to all the Geonosians, because they dead.
They gone. They gone.
Got all them bastards, show. Exterminated them. Anyway, so they get trapped on this ice planet, and they have to essentially survive together. And it was cool to see just the season of a planet and Kallus like, look, your people not coming back. Your people not coming back for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, no, they're going to come back. Yeah. And by the end of the episode, they had to get attacked by some crazy space monster, of course, fend them off, go to the top of this, because they was in a cave, go to the top. It's super cold on his moon as well. So they end up having to huddle up, don't freeze to death. Morning comes, and he gets saved. The cool thing about this too was the weapon that Kallus has is a Lasat weapon, and he was like, and it's funny because season 1, like Zell was like pissy mad about that. It's like, you don't deserve that. You know what I'm saying? And Kallus really bested that person, and by their law or code or whatever, they have to give them the weapon.
Kind of Mandalorian-ish.
It's everybody has a creed. So it was cool just to see like Kallus kind of admit to that and saying, he died on basically he did the thing that he was supposed to do. I didn't steal it. I actually beat that man.
And he gave it to me, and his last dying breath was like, yo, this yours.
Yeah, so that was cool. And then Zeb and Kallus formed this like kind of bond, which of course will come back around in season 3. All right. So again, it's so many good episodes this season. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes, especially the last like 5.
I'm gonna say
4.
4, yeah. So
I mean, because
episode 18, 19, 20, 21, 20, it's 5. Yeah.
Yeah, because even the Forgotten Droid for a droid episode was really good.
Yeah.
Chopper is crazy, man. Like the whole point of Chopper saying, like, nah, man, I want this leg.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Right. Like, and they left him on the planet.
Yeah, they was like, hey, yo, where Chopper at? It was like, man, did he go for that damn leg?
He said, yo, I already know what that stupid selfish droid did. He'll figure it out.
Right. It's crazy because he was like, stay here, Chopper. Chopper looked over that market and was like, oh, it's a leg that I can get that matches the rest of me. Yo, and she was like, can you go get that for me, please?
And she was like, no, we got to get this fuel to get back to get back to base. No. Yeah. No. Chopper's wild, yo. Yeah, but that was a good episode. He ends up meeting a friend in a
AP5.
Yeah, and it used to be a tactical droid and made him into a protocol droid, which is hilarious. He got downgraded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they treat that
And
man like trash.
and I love it too because he's so snarky and so like, oh my god. And it's the voice acting of it too. And he's like, what are you doing? Type stuff like that.
Very monotone.
Yeah.
Very snippy. No, so no, that was funny episode. Shroud of Darkness. So
God.
Kanan, Ezra, and Ahsoka, man. So they're trying to figure out what to do next, essentially. So to go back to Lothal, again, I told y'all last time, Lothal is like the Tatooine of the series. Go back to Lothal to the temple, and then go to the temple, and everybody has some sort of force vision that's like low-key like corporeal in nature, because Kanan worst fear is, of course, him losing Ezra.
Yeah.
And him not doing a good job as being, of course, his Jedi coach. And he gets greeted by temple guards. Of course, a lot of the temple guards end up being Inquisitor, and he talks to the Grand Inquisitor. He said, "Look, yo, let the boy go, man. He's gonna be the dark side." You know what I'm saying?
Right. And for y'all that don't know, the Grand Inquisitor was an actual temple guard that got captured during Order 66 and everything, and he turned to the dark side, and that's his story. He was an actual Jedi.
Yeah, he was a temple guard. So he on Coruscant. So he ends up fighting the this version of the what's that dude's name? The Grand Inquisitor. Yeah, so Ezra ends up getting like the best part of his bargain. He gets to see one Yoda. And he had a cool conversation with Yoda, because Yoda is trying to tell his little kid, like, yo, man, calm your ass down. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, how are we gonna fight? We already chosen to fight. He said, man, it's how the Jedi fight. You know what I'm saying? Is really gonna be the issue.
Right.
And he's trying to figure, of course, because the whole point is they're trying to figure out the answer of how to basically kill the Sith. And you know what's funny in retrospect?
What's that?
Yoda knows that they can't kill the Sith.
Yes.
And Yoda tells them to go to the place where the Sith is probably the most powerful.
He said, yeah. What a Malachor.
He said Malachor. What did Ahsoka see? I don't even remember.
Ahsoka, what did Ahsoka see? Ahsoka, Anakin. She saw like a vision of Anakin, and and then she started to realize that, because she has been investigating the whole time who the hell this person was that basically watched him earlier, and they were like, it was a Sith, because that's the only person to do it, and kind of find out, she's like, I think it was Anakin. Basically, it was Anakin. But she still isn't sure. She knows, but she needs that evidence to prove. She needs to be sure that that's Anakin.
Yeah. So they all get out. The Inquisitors show up, and it's kind of funny how they just, so everybody comes out in a different paths, meet in the middle, and they figure out, like, something's going on with the temple. Let's be out. So they run out. The Inquisitors come in. Boom. They get on the shuttle and bounce. So as they're on the ship, they're like, look. Ezra says, yo, who is Malachor? Ahsoka's like, nah. Where?
And then even Kanan was like, yeah, we all heard the stories about what happened to Malachor.
Malachor is a place where Jedi go to die.
Right. So what we do here, we go ahead and let's skip. So in the meantime, too, the rebels also found a base. They found a new rebel home base and everything.
Yeah, and it's got these giant spiders on it.
Yeah, and all that stuff.
Don't worry, that'll come back up in next season 3. We'll talk about some more. Also, before I forget, one of my favorite episodes too, the Protector of Concord Dawn, when we got Finn Rao.
Finn Rao
from the Clone Wars. He actually saved Kanan back in the day too. So that was a nice great call back to that. And there's this whole Mandalorian thing, and he'll show back up in season 3 and 4 as well.
Yeah.
All right.
So we get to the final 2 episodes here.
Twilight of the Apprentice. And when I mean, even the first time I saw this, I was like, I know they did not just do this. So they end up going to Malachor, and they stumble upon. Why is this dog barking? They they stumble upon somebody, and guess who it is? It's Maul.
Maul.
Out of nowhere, yo, Maul
Right.
shows up.
Yeah. And they're separated for a second. So it's Ahsoka, Ezra, and Kanan and Chopper. They're separated for a second. And Ezra's the one that finds Maul. But Maul is like, I'm just an old battered man. In the process, also coming to Malachor, there's another Inquisitor who's there. And another Inquisitor who's there. And what happens? You end up having 3 Inquisitors on Malachor. And a fight ensues between the 3 Inquisitors and Kanan, Jedis, and Ahsoka. They're fighting, and then who shows up? Ezra shows up along with Maul, because Maul the whole time is saying that, yo, he's gonna make Ezra his apprentice, but he shows up, and like the Inquisitors see that it is Maul. They see that the Inquisitors see like, oh snap, is that who we think? Is that who? I know that ain't who we think it is. And then like Ahsoka was like Maul, and what proceeds to happen is like just a battle fest where Ezra, Ahsoka, Maul, and Kanan Jarrus take on the Inquisitors, and they're going up into the Sith Temple because it's at the top. They're trying to get to. A Maul knows why they want to get there because there's a Sith holocron there that it takes 2 people to get. Along the way, they kill each one of the Inquisitors. All 3 of the Inquisitors are dead now. And then Maul kind of double crosses the Jedi, and in the process, Kanan Jarrus gets blind. And you know what I'm saying, in the process.
Which was wild.
Yeah. He took basically like a lightsaber to the eyes, to the face, and he got blinded by that. And so they get to the top, and Maul is like, yo, you need to get this. And somehow along the way, Ahsoka beats up on Maul, and Ezra reaches in to get the holocron, but it takes 2 people to do it, a master and an apprentice, which is the rule of 2 for the Sith. Kanan comes, helps him take it out, but in the process, what happens? The Dark Lord himself, daggone Vader, shows up and proceeds to beat the hell out of. He breaks Ezra's lightsaber, beats the hell out of them, and then what happens? Ahsoka comes up and is like, yo, I know who you are, and you can't be my master because my master isn't that cruel. And basically what ends up happening, Vader, Ahsoka helps Ezra and Kanan kind of get away with the holocron. Chopper comes with the ship, but Ahsoka and Vader are going at it, and Ahsoka gets a shot off, pow, and cuts a piece of Vader's mask, and you see for the first time, animation-wise, Anakin underneath
that helmet
with the Sith eyes. And you see he kind of thanks for a second. She was like, come on, Anakin, let's go. We don't have to do this. And he thanks for a second, and then he starts to grimace, and they go ahead and start fighting. The Sith Temple starts to collapse on them. Ezra, Kanan, and Chopper escapes. Escape. Temple crumbles. Next thing you know, you see Vader stumbling out of the temple. But right before it fades to black at the end of the season, you see a figure walking away into the shadows. Fade to black. End of season 2. Good God Almighty.
It was great. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I remember at the end of season, at the end of season 2, when I first saw it, I was like, yo, did they just kill Ahsoka? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like the big thing at that time, was like, did Ahsoka, like, did she actually live or not? And like, you see like the convoy, things what they call little owls, and him, like, her flying around, because of course it's the Mortis sister, so flying around, and I'm like, yo, Ahsoka gotta be alive, yo. So yeah, it was a good time, man. But yeah, that's it for this one. We'll be back next Wednesday, right?
Wednesday,
next Wednesday.
Season 3 review.
Season 3 review. Also, I might take Nia to go see
Turtles.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it too.
Let me know.
Okay.
Either way, man, we'll see y'all next week sometime. Peace.
Peace.